What's good, y'all? Welcome to my first impressions for Alien Earth. Ladies and gentlemen, is finally here, man. As you guys know, this show has been in development for quite some time. This show initially got released, or revealed, I should say, during one of Disney's investment, tours or conferences or something. I forget what it was. Yeah, Disney Investor Day. This was back in 2020. So this has been in development for at least 5 years, man. So, yeah, man. This got announced that long ago, man, back during the pandemic, and now it's only just now coming out after about 5 years. I don't know if they just really took their time with it. There was some sort of production, issues where they were guys struggling what to do with this show or whatnot, man. I don't know why it took them this goddamn long for the show to finally release, man. But hey, I'm happy that the show actually did come out, that the Alien FX series is out, and we now can watch it, ladies and gentlemen. And overall, man, I gotta say, these first episodes, man, are spectacular, man. I love this show already, man. And first of all, man, it's so cool that we're finally getting to see what Earth looks like in the Alien universe. Now, when I say, man, I'm excluding top of the live action, shows and whatnot, man, the movies, because you guys know I don't read the comics for anything regarding Alien or Predator or AVP. I don't read the comics because when Dark Horse was writing them, man, I didn't read them. Don't really have any interest in reading them. You guys do know, if you guys do follow me, you guys know I have been keeping up with the Marvel books. I've read a good number. I've read a good of those, the main Alien series. I've read all of them that Marvel's put, which I believe is about 3 at this point. They've done 3 Alien series. Predator, I believe, is the same thing. They've done about 3 titles for that one, 3 series for that one as well, which I've read all of them. They're all great. They're all fantastic comics, I will say, man. Especially that one where they're on the snow planet and the alien ones. That one was really fucking cool. I really liked that one. I really took the human characters in that one. But yeah, and this is the first time we've really seen them in any of the live action, just outside of course, obviously AVP, but those are taking place during modern day, and who knows if those movies are even considered canon at all. So I don't really count the AVP movies. I'm mostly just talking about the Alien movies themselves. And yeah, man, so yeah, it was just so cool to finally see Earth in this universe, man, what Earth looks like, what they've been doing. This seems to take place around the same time as Alien Romulus. I'm not 100% sure. I'm just kind of going off how the tech looks like in the first Alien movie. So I'm assuming this is around that same time frame as the first Alien movie. I could be wrong that. I am by no means an Alien expert. So please correct me to any hardcore Alien fans out there down below in the comments if this is where this actually takes place in the chronology of the films. But yeah, man. So yeah, enough jibba jabba, man. Enough of me rambling. Let's just jump right into the actual show itself. So the show stars Sydney Chandler, Timothy Oilfant. I'm not pronouncing that dude's name. Last name right. Alex Lothar, Lily Newmark, and many more. In the plot of Alien Earth is, when a mysterious space vessel crash lands on Earth, Wendy and a ragtag group of tactical soldiers make a fateful discovery that puts them face to face with the planet's greatest threat. Now, first of all, man, I think the cast of this show, man, what we've seen of them so far from these first 2 episodes, I think it's great, man. There hasn't been any really big standout performances from really any of the actors, I would say. Not so, like I said, none of them are bad, but so far I wouldn't say this person is without the MVP of the show, man, in terms of performances. But yeah, the entire cast is great, man. I really did the cast of this one, man. This show introduces some new lore. Now, like I said, new lore from the movies, but like I said, I don't read the comments, and so if any of this was from the Dark Horse comics, which I don't even know the name, those are still canon when Marvel took over. The Dark Horse comics, or maybe some of the Marvel comics that have come out recently that just either forgetting or just missed. So correct me if I'm wrong, but like I said, for the films, I want to preface everything I'm talking about. I'm talking this from the perspective of someone that's only seen the films and hasn't really read many of the comics, man. So if any of this stuff was already pre-existing knowledge from the EU, from the Dark Horse comics and whatnot, man, I am unaware of that. Just let that out there, man. I'm probably going to reiterate that a few times, but just to let you guys know, my knowledge is mostly exclusive to the films. They expand the lore for the show, man, from the very beginning of it, where we actually found that there's a new type of synthetics out there. We obviously know about the main synthetics from Weyland-Yutani, the Working Joes, from Alien Isolation, but we have a new type of synthetic that's introduced to this show, man, which are basically synthetics, but but with human consciousness on. Basically, people, which in this show, man, we have a bunch of kids out there that were very sick with debilitating diseases and whatnot. Man, I'm assuming we don't really get any really big info on what these characters were dealing with, what ails them, and why they were picked for this whole experiment thing, and why their consciousness was uploaded to these various synthetic bodies or whatnot. Man, there's a good chance they'll probably get expanded on as the show progresses onward, man. But so for the show, we're kind of left up in the air as to what any of that what any of that actually means. But anyway, as I was saying, we find out that there's new types of synthetics called hybrids that are basically synthetics but have had a human conscious uploaded into them, which we see that in the first episode, which I did think was kind of funny when they do this, man, because of the actual testing facility that these kids are at, where they're running these experiments and watching them and doing the whole procedure of uploading these kids' conscious over to these new adult synthetic bodies. They're called hybrids. But anyways, I was saying, before I got sidetracked, I thought it was hilarious because the place where all this is going on is called Neverland, and they have like this circular screen like basically right above where the operating tables are at, that's playing Peter Pan. Which I just thought fun. That wasn't the only like Disney property cameo that was in the film. Like Peter Pan like says in there, man. Ice Age for some reason is in one of the episodes. Man, I believe it was episode 2. I believe is one where we see like some kids watching one of the Ice Age movies. It looked like one of the later ones because I didn't recognize anything from it, man. I'm trying to remember how many of the Ice Age movies I actually did see as kids. I didn't really see that, man, because I wasn't that big in the series. But I definitely saw the first one. I think I saw the second one. And I think I saw bits of the third one. Maybe it was just a trailer. I don't know if I actually ever sat down and watched it. But I think that's where my knowledge of the Ice Age film ends. But so that was a pretty pleasant surprise to see one of the Ice Age movies make an appearance in this film, man. So that was kind of funny. But I thought it was funny that they had the Peter Pan thing going on, because the place was called Neverland. They're even called the Lost Boys. So a lot of Peter Pan references in this show, man. I don't know if it's going to lead to anything really crazy where we can see these kids start flying or anything, man. But I thought that was interesting. I'm curious to know if they're ever going to explain why this place is even called Neverland or not. But I thought that was kind of interesting. Or maybe it was just Disney flexing. Look at our face. Look at all our properties. I don't know. But whatever the case may be, so that was pretty cool. Found that they're introducing a new type of synthetic. Now, I don't know if the synthetic we saw in Alien Romulus was also one of these hybrids, because he very much had his own personality, very different from like Bishop or the synthetic from the first Alien movie, which I'm slipping on his name. I don't know if he was. I think he might have just been his own synthetic, because you guys know he had like a stutter thing, but I think it was just because the dude was effective. But I'm curious if he was a hybrid as well. I don't remember his name. I think his name was like Lewis or something. I generally don't remember what the synthetic from Alien Romulus's name was. I don't think he had a concept. I think he was just a normal synthetic, man. But yeah, that was pretty cool. Fun that we have these hybrids going on there, man. That are like that are synthetics with human consciousness that have been implanted into them. But one thing that I thought was interesting, and like I liked how the way the show started. It feels very reminiscent of the first Alien movie, where you have the spaceship very much very similar, same retrofuturism we saw in the first Aliens movie. Like I said, this makes me think that this movie is probably taking place around the same time as that first film. I could be wrong, man. Like I said, I am not that very deep in Alien lore, and I don't know when these movies take place. So if anyone else is more in depth with this stuff than me, can like give me the chronology of where everything takes place, man. Feel free to do so in the comments. But anyway, you got the whole thing with the spaceship, man, where the crew wakes up. They kind of eat breakfast together, man. Before they go back into hyperspace or cryo sleep, I guess would be the more apt term. Before they go back into cryo sleep, and while this is all going down there, man, we see like these brief flashes of when the xenomorph had gotten loose, and I'm assuming killed all the crew members on this ship before it obviously crashed lands on Earth, and the show proper begins. So I thought it was kind of cool, man. I do kind of hope that eventually, as the show progresses onward, they give us like the full thing. They fold the full sequence of like how the xenomorph got loose. We obviously see bits of it. We see like the face hugger. We see a face hugger somewhere in the wrecker of the ship crash. We see blood over one of the pods that one of the people were sleeping in there, man, with blood everywhere. So obviously there was a chest burst that was happening inside one of these cryo sleep pods. And then the xenomorph got loose, and then of course killed everyone on the ship, minus obviously the android of present, because obviously Whale and Yutani don't want their shit lost, want their shit retrieved. But hopefully one day they do show us that full sequence of how everything happened, man, because that would have been really cool to see it, man, because I love the brief flashes we saw of it, and then the little bits of we see the aftermath once the new cast, once the current, once the cast and some of the other their whole soldiers and whatnot find the wreckage and like investigate over it, investigate, find the piece that we there. And so hopefully one day we get to see as the show progresses on, where we see what the full thing of that looks like. Because like I said, I really like the brief flash that we got in there, man. Another thing I got praise, man, is I love the set design of the show. The set design of the show is brilliant, man. Obviously, like I said, keeps the same retrofuturism from the first movie, man. So obviously that's a big plus, man. But just the sets in general, man, look so fucking cool, man. From what we see of Neverland, the shipwreck itself, man. Some of the other areas we see in the show, man. Just seeing what Earth looks like in the Aliens universe was really cool, man, and really a massive treat, man. So the set design as a whole was fantastic. The cinematography, though, was also really good as well, man. This show does use some drone shots a couple times, which I was really happy to see, because you guys know me. I love me some drone shots, man. I love them from when Michael Bay used them in Ambulance, man. I love them in the Gray Man from the Russo brothers. That was on Netflix a few years back, and this show uses it a couple times as well. So I thought that was pretty cool as well. I do wish that I hope they use it a bit more, because I love the little bits of the drone shots we did get in this show, man. So hopefully they use them a bit more frequently in some of the other episodes, because I love the little bits of the drone footage they did use in this show, man. But I will say one thing I thought was kind of cool with this one is the synthetic from this show, from the Weyland-Yutani synthetic that we follow this year, that's trying to capture the xenomorph and the other test subjects that were on this shipwreck. So, and like, he's busy playing cleanup, getting the xenomorph and everything, man. He was probably my favorite character so far. I don't know who the actor that plays him, but he was probably the highlight of the cast for me personally. I really dug him, man. I always liked him when he was on screen, man. This dude's low-key OP, because this synthetic is not like your typical synthetic. This dude's practically a T-1000, where he can like literally just conjure up knives and flamethrowers from his hand. It's some really fucking cool shit, man. Like, we see this one sequence, like, once I'm assuming the xenomorph has gotten loose right before they crash land to Earth. You see the synthetic like tapping away the keyboards, probably like, relaying the information to his Weyland-Yutani, overlords, and being like, and like the dude's like, there's someone on the other crew is like banging on the door, telling him to let her in, and like bro's just locked in on that computer doing the whole thing, man. And then he goes back, man, summons up his little flamethrower thing or blowtorch, and literally seals off the door like an alien colonial marines, which I thought was kind of cool. Seals it off, man. And then the xenomorph gets her, and then he continues clacking away, and then hides in like this little like escape or like panic room that this computer area of the ship had, and hides in there until the crash land is over and the xenomorph, I guess, escapes. Which again, that's another thing I really like about the show, man. The xenomorph in the show looks amazing. It seemed like the xenomorph in the show is completely practical, and they just had some poor bastard in a rubber suit. I'm sure there were probably some scenes of the show in the first 2 episodes, man, where they did use some CGI, probably when it's like crawling around the walls and whatnot, man. Some of the more active moments with the xenomorph, but it seems like whenever the xenomorph is like stationary or there's like really massive close-up with the xenomorph, man, he is completely practical, and the suit looks amazing, man. I love the look of the xenomorph in the show, man. He looks so good, man. The suit looks amazing, and yeah, I cannot say enough about the xenomorph. The xenomorph in this show, man, looks incredible, man. I love what they did with the xenomorph. Like I said, I'm assuming it was done practically. It looked like it was done completely practically with the dude in a rubber suit. So, and the suit looked amazing, man. So, shout out to the special effects team, man, for how they were able to bring in the xenomorph into the show, man. He looked amazing, man. I loved it. Now, as far in terms of flaws, I would say so far at the show from these first 2 episodes, a lot of these are probably like stuff that probably you will see eventually as the show progresses on. Like I said, one, I wish they show us like what happened to the crew of that spaceship where it crashed landed on Earth and everything, man. How the xenomorph got out, but like I said, we might see that in a future episode. I do wish they also did show off the kids and see like more about what they were up to before they got this procedure to get implanted into synthetic bodies. What were the diseases or whatnot that did indeed ail them? Show us what they were doing beforehand, their quality of life, and how bad or how shit it was and whatnot, man. I just wish we got more of them. We see like little bits of it with Wendy at the start of the first episode, man, but we don't get little bits of it, man. And like I said, there's a very good chance they'll expand on this more as the show progresses somewhere and whatnot, but that's like one thing I hope they do eventually focus on. They spend more time is expanding on their backstories and like what ailed them and whatnot. Another thing that was also disappointing with me is that once again the xenomorph doesn't get its own special vision like we saw in Alien Covenant. It's once again just camera moves forward, which I'm assuming this time instead of someone having with like a steady cam, it was just done with the drone shots. So I wish they gave the xenomorph its own special thing because it looks so cool in Alien Covenant. I wish that got to stick around, man. But unfortunately, just like with Alien Romulus, man, they just didn't decide to. Did anyone wrote something special like Xenomorph Vision? I forget the movie did have. I think it might have. Now I think about it, but I might be wrong. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for you guys today, man. Yeah, I'm excited to see the rest of the show, man. I'll do my review of the season when it's finished, man. And yeah, overall, I give this show these first episodes, rather of a 9 out of 10, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like if you did, subscribe if you're new. Follow me socials if you feel like it. Links are below, and it's also back for more. See you guys next time. She's